everyone, I'm AkankshaThakur, and for my IP project, I have chosen to explore the issue of jobless growth in India. So, India today is often recognized as one of the fastest growing major economies in the world, with GDP growth frequently exceeding 6 to 7%. However, when we look beyond these numbers, an important concern becomes visible. If the economy is growing so rapidly, why are sufficient jobs not being created? This gap between the economic growth and the employment generation is referred to as jobless growth. Now, ideally, economic growth should lead to job creation. As production increases, firms should require more labor. But in India, that's not the case. This relationship has weakened. Economists describe this as declining the employment elasticity of growth, which means that output is increasing, but employment is not increasing at the same rate. This becomes even more significant because India has a large young population entering the workforce every year. While this is often seen as a demographic advantage, without job creation, it can turn into a serious challenge. At the same time, the issue is not just about unemployment. A large number of people are working, but in low paying, unstable, and informal jobs. So the real concern is not just the number of jobs, but the quality and the productivity of employment. To understand why this is happening, we need to look at the nature of India's growth. So, unlike many developed economies that moved from agriculture to manufacturing and then to services, India's growth has largely been driven by service sector. While the sector contributes significantly to the GDP, it does not generate employment at a large scale. At the same time, industries are increasingly adopting automation and capital-intensive technology, which allow higher production without increasing the labor demand. Another important factor is the dominance of the informal sector. A large proportion of India's workforce is employed in jobs that lack job security, social protection, and stable income. Along with this, there is also a mismatch between the skills provided by the education system and the skill required by the industries. As a result, many individuals are not job ready. Even when opportunities do exist, regional imbalances further add to the issue. As employment opportunities are not concentrated in certain areas, leading to the migration and then eventually to the competition. So now, having understood the problem and its causes, the next important question is, what can be done to address the jobless growth in India? So what are the solutions? There are several measures that can be taken, but I will focus on the three key solutions that can be taken. The first solution is to promote labor-intensive manufacturing. India needs to strengthen the sectors such as textile, food processing, and electronics assembly, which have a high capacity to generate employment. Policies like production-linked incentive schemes can support industrial growth, but also focus should be on creating the jobs and not just increasing the output. Moving on to the second solution. The second solution is to improve the skill development and the education. There is a clear need to move beyond the theoretical learning towards practical, industry-relevant skills. And this can be achieved through vocational training, internships, and stronger collaboration between the education institutions and the industries. This will help to reduce the gap between the education and employability. Now we move to the third solution. The third solution is to strengthen MSMEs and formalize the workforce. Micro, small, and medium enterprises are among the largest contributors to employment in India. Providing them easier access to credit, better infrastructure, and policy support can significantly boost job creation at the same time encouraging the formalization through digitalization and the labor reforms. They can also improve job security, wages, and overall productivity. Now, to conclude this, we can say that India's economic growth story is strong, but it remains incomplete. If it does not generate sufficient employment, the challenge of jobless growth highlights the need to shift focus from a growth alone to the employment intensive and an inclusive growth. Thank you.